today. From NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. It's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Houston Texans taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars.
On a wonderful fall afternoon in the state of Texas, the roof is open and we've got football from NRG Stadium in Houston. Tonight we've got a great Sunday night matchup on tap, as it'll be the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Houston Texans. And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. Unable to corral him, he fights through. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. It didn't take long to see our first penalty of the game, did it?
We always talk about everyone wanting to get into the game in a hurry. The officials did as well.
Throwing now, Lawrence on first down. And his first pass is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely, just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Now a 2nd and 10. Lawrence will throw. Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On 3rd down, Lawrence. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
So on 4th down, here's Logan Cook to punt for Jacksonville. Desmond King deep for Houston. Taken from just outside the 30. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Texans will take over. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Here's Stroud. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
Now they'll throw it with Stroud here, 1st and 10. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Here's 2nd and 10. Again, it's Stroud. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. This now a 3rd and 4. Stroud to throw it. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. Yeah, this won't be enough. Stopped a yard short after a gain of 3. 4th down. Interesting decision here. Opening drive, Charles. 4th and short. You're in field goal range. We'll see what they do.
I just shake a fist at my offense and say, go get it, guys, because if you can't pick up 4th and short here, we're probably in trouble the rest of the game. Show some confidence. Show some aggressiveness. Go pick it up.
This would have been a 54-yard boot had they tried a field goal, but they will not try a field goal. They're going for it. Now Stroud. Work it. Now Brown. Oh, he lost the football. And the Jags grab it. And he'll take it across midfield to the 46-yard line. No question that one stings a little extra because he had that 1st down. It would have been a 4th down conversion.
Love the effort. Love the maneuverability. Don't like the fact that he didn't bring the ball with him. And now it's going to go in the other direction.
So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the 2nd time here in this game. And the first drive, 3 and out. 2nd possession. See if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. And it may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. Following the fumble recovery, Lawrence. That's going to be caught by Kirk. And he's got this down to the 35. They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here. 1st and 10.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
First carry for the Clemson man, Travis Etienne. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4. 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Here's Lawrence. This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. Here's Lawrence to throw. Caught on the right side by Jones. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? You're able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. ETN up the middle. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
This 2nd and 4. They'll send Kirk in motion right. He's going to get it on the jet sweep.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
3rd and 2, now Lawrence.
And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown.
Trevor Lawrence, a 10-yard touchdown run. And the Jaguars take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown.
Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? But I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. And this is up and good. The score now 7-0 Jaguars. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told.
And it was capped off by Trevor Lawrence taking it in himself.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback.
So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. They had the fumble on the last drive, wound up leading to the opening touchdown. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. Singletary to get the drive started.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
Tackle made by Devin Lloyd, the linebacker. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
They'll run on first down with Singletary. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. They go right back to Singletary. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Throwing now is Stroud. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. The drive stays alive, a 3rd down gain of 8. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. That one complete. It's tanked down. And he's got this down to the 35. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
A give up the middle to Singletary. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
And they'll go play action here with Stroud. And this is caught. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. A gain of 32 that time.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
They've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass. Stroud looking to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
2nd and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Stroud. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. Nico Collins. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Texans are an extra point away from drawing level. Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there. And let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Now Jamal Agnew from his end zone. And he returns this to the 22. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
Now Lawrence. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Second and 10. Looking to throw, Lawrence. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Will Anderson showing his strength and quickness there, a loss of 4. Well, it was second long, now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Good clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get him off the field with a 3 and out.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. And a fair catch taken here right at about the 40-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Nice chunk of yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
2nd and 6. Singletary again. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down. And Stroud now to throw. That is caught. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. They only needed 1 yard on third down. They get 10 instead by going to the air. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
A give, Singletary right side. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Right back to Singletary on second down. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
This offense so far on third down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Looking to throw. Stroud. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
So on 4th down, Texan kicker Kaimi Fairbairn comes on. From the right hash, this from 53. And that is no good. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Lawrence. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very well-executed play. It goes for 29 yards.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Straight ahead, Etienne. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. He was brought down by Malik Collins. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. From the 24 now, here's 2nd and 6. Lawrence. Throw right side, caught by Ridley. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Now Lawrence to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And here he'll get it down to the 7. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Calvin Ridley, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Jaguars have taken the lead. Well, on that connection, it looked like they maybe had some pre-play communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open in the defense to get the pass to.
When you put the time in, sometimes you have that great silent communication that you just noticed right there, because the best quarterback-receiver combos in the NFL, they know how to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage when they see something pre-play, and they got it done there.
Extra point from McManus is good, and that makes the score 14-7. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it's Calvin Ridley who finishes it off with a touchdown reception. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Texans with the football here late in this first half. And with just under a minute to go, they might try to think about mounting a drive here if they can and get in the end zone. Could potentially tie this game up. Stroud now on 1st and 10. That's complete to Dell. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Here now, 2nd and 4. A shotgun snap to Stroud. Quick slant to Brown. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. On 1st down, here's Stroud. This will be caught once again by Brown. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Stroud getting his offense to the line quickly. Back to throw again. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. The Texans going to signal for their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Third and 5. Again, he'll drop to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. Oh, he's brought down. And remember here, no timeouts left. They got to get to the line quick. A good pickup, but it will come on what should be the final play in this first half. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Jaguars out on top. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to our downtown Orlando studios in this EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you got to expect we'll see more of the same in the second half. And to bring the action your way, let's get it right back out to Brandon Gaudin.
Okay, Coach, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. Touchdown ball game, 14-7 our scores. We get back at it on EA Sports. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The Texans going to take over here to start quarter number 3. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
He was brought down by Foyesade Oluwakin.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Singletary, they'll go up the middle. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams.
He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. And now, oh boy, this is a bit of a surprise, to be kind. They accepted the holding penalty, so wipe out the interception, and their defense will stay on the field. Okay. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Lawrence into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Denzel Perryman. And the Texans will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground to about the 35, 2nd down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Second down and 6 now. Back to throw. Stroud. He'll get this out wide to Singletary. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Stroud to the air on 1st and 10. Over the middle, he gets it to Collins. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
First and 10, it's Stroud. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Josh Allen, the outside linebacker, dropping him for a loss of 6. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Play action. Stroud now. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tyson Campbell. And he'll take it across midfield to the 46-yard line.
Well, this is something we've seen before, partner. We've seen a defense bait a rookie, pretend to leave a window open, and then the defensive back jumped it as soon as the ball was released. Big-time play. They love taking advantage of the youngsters, and in this case, it paid off well.
Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive, in particular if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
Big Sheldon Rankins there to bring him down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
They'll come up 2nd and 7. From the gun, it's Lawrence. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the first down marker. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Jaguars first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Lawrence. And it's complete. Right back to Ridley.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on 2nd down. They'll send Kirk in motion right. And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. Here now, 3rd and a yard. They'll run with Etienne, and he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Throwing now, Lawrence on first down. This will be caught inside the 10. And the Jaguars are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Houston. It's Jaguar football here, and they'll look to extend their lead as we begin quarter number 4. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Lawrence will throw. Now a battle for the football. It's caught. It's a touchdown. Christian Kirk, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Jags have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this 4th quarter.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor in effect.
McManus now for the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it results in a touchdown for Jacksonville. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Houston set to take over. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On the give, this is Singletary. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Back to throw. Stroud. This one left side caught by Collins. A gain of 8 there on the play. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st. They'll try and run for this with Singletary. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Open man there is Collins, complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Here's Stroud. That is caught by Dell. Touchdown, Houston. Take Dell, 38 yards. And the Texans have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Well, Charles, kind of the future of this franchise on display right there. You had a rookie throwing it, a rookie catching it, and taking it into the end zone.
Could you imagine if we were in the owner's box right now and we could look at the front office and see the grins on their faces, to see the present making plays and knowing what the future will bring with these youngsters going out and making big-time moments happen for this team.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive, Lawrence. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Lawrence. Open man, this is Brenton Strange, the tight end. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's got this complete to Ridley. And he is going to have a Jags first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 42-yard line. Looking to throw. Lawrence. They'll try and set up the screen to Etienne. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37.
And that's all about recognition right there because he's got to go from pass rush mode to pursuit mode, what defensive line coaches like to call retracing. And he's able to retreat and make the tackle for just a short gain.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 37. A shotgun snap and again to Etienne. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. And they'll run. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Another tote for ETN. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. They'll come up facing 3rd and 5. Back to throw, Lawrence. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So here now is Brandon McManus in a big spot. This to perhaps salt this one away. The kick by McManus is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, we got to find 2 scores. So, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but, boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too. After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. So Stroud and the Texans down 24-14. 55 seconds remaining. It's an extremely tall order in front of them, but they've got the ball with a 1st down. Stroud. And that's complete to Brown. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
That's a nice catch there. Remember, he had the fumble earlier. No way he was giving up the ball in that situation. Secured it tight to his body and picks up the 1st down.
This is 1st and 10. Stroud to throw it. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
But this defense has been physical all game long, and it certainly looks like they're not going to back off and make things any easier. They want to keep making life miserable for the receivers all the way to the end.
Here's 2nd down. Here's Stroud. Into the hands of Singletary. And this is not going to be what they needed. They get a few here, but now 3rd down as the clock runs. So it's the Jaguars who come away with a win, and they got a solid outing here from their quarterback, Charles, and that's, of course, Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, he did a little bit of everything, didn't he? He had 2 touchdown passes through the air, another one on the ground, and that defense, they really had no answer for many of their drives.
So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports.